Sonic Nova, coming at you live from Spreaker Internet Radio, where we put a new spin on spiritual development and paranormal activities. You're listening to Surfing the Cosmic Waves Radio. Time to listen into your host, Sonic Nova, coming at you live from Spreaker Internet Radio, where we put a new spin on spiritual development and paranormal activities.
Welcome, everybody. This is Sonic Nova, your host with Surfing the Cosmic Waves. And tonight, actually today, I'm going to redo the show for last Monday. I am going to be talking about the secret and the secret to manifesting. I didn't do this last week because I was really sick. I'm still kind of getting over my cough and cold. But we'll do our best this week. And that's why I'm a little bit nasally and sound the way I do. So I want to talk about giving you clear, defined steps on how to manifest. And I also want to talk about the foundation of where I'm coming from. I really am doing this mostly for my website and the people that come to listen to my radio show here. I want to give you the background and the basics of manifestation. And when I'm talking about manifestation, I'm talking about you being able to create what you want or desire, okay? It could be from creating the relationship that you want, if you're not in a relationship, to connecting with your soulmate, to healing yourself in terms of your health. It could be a whole variety of different things, okay? So I want to direct you guys, in a sense, on the purpose of the step-by-step process that I use to manifest in my life. And one of the very first things that Archangel Michael, Metatron, and the Ascended Masters taught me was basically that you have to have what you're already searching for on the outside that you desire. You must already have it on the inside. This is an inside job, and that's what I really want to talk about. Because most of the people on this planet, Earth, are programmed to look for fulfillment on the outside of themselves. Relationships, jobs, money, all those things that you think can make you happy. You're all very programmed to go out there and to make those things your happiness, which they don't. In the end, you will find that the very, very wealthy people on the planet are the most unhappy people on the planet. And they're the most divisive. They're the ones that are the most in fear, in lack and limitation. Isn't that crazy? Even though they may be at the top of the heap and hold all the purse strings, if you like, and control all the purse strings, they're the ones that are the most in fear. And they're the most in lack because they are basically in a state of not letting go and not surrendering and not in the flow, if you like. They really are all about hoarding. And what happens if you hoard anything in this world? Well, it rots. It literally, if you actually buy a bunch of food and you let it sit in your fridge for weeks on end, it would rot. It's no different with what they do. But let's not talk about what they do. Let's talk about what we can do. I want to empower all of you to actually start having an outer expression of what you already have on the inside. So let me take a few steps back and explain to you what I mean by that. And what I mean by that is that you literally, if you have a desire to have something in your life, you have suffered a deep delusion that you are in lack of it. Because you haven't actually expressed it on the physical plane in this physical world on the outside doesn't mean that you have not, that you're not able, or that you don't have the capacity to create that. Okay? So the key foundational, and that's what I was trying to say before, is the key foundational elements of creating reality and manifesting your desires is number one and most important, that Saint Germain had a class on not too long ago that I posted here in this radio show, where he basically said something very, very important that is critical, is that you need to be self-fulfilled. In other words, you need to be filled from the inside out, not the other way around. Because if you're not filled on the inside and your God hole, what I call your God hole, is empty, okay, you actually are going to create more emptiness in your life. And I don't care if you have the appearance of a lot of wealth and abundance around you. If you actually are always seeking, always looking to get more, to control more, to dominate more, to have more, you're in lack. Because the truth is that deep down inside of you, in your inner being, you have everything that you could possibly ever imagine and more. I want you guys to first understand the universe and how it is never ending, always creating, and there's always more. Whenever we get told a stupid story like there's never enough water, there's never enough this or enough that, all of a sudden galaxies pop up in our consciousness and literally manifest, with the scientists telling us that there's this galaxy they call the water galaxy, and all there is in this galaxy is water. I would say that that's not really lack, wouldn't you? So let's start there. Let's start with the inner self. And let's start with what you want to create. So how do you feel about yourself? And I really want you guys to contemplate on this and think about it. Think about how you feel about yourself. Think about how you feel about the people that surround you. Are they supporting you? Are they not supporting you? You really need to look at all these different facets that I'm talking about. Are you in lack because you don't feel loved or you don't have a relationship right now? Are you desiring that relationship? Are you desiring a certain car, a certain job, a certain position? See, it's kind of funny, isn't it? Most people think, oh, I have to get the car and I have to get the job in order to get the girl. And I counsel people every single day with this, you guys. This is my life. I am a spiritual, multi-dimensional coach and mentor. And I gotta tell you that the biggest thing that I find with people is that they're seeking for something outside of themselves because they think that something or that someone is going to fulfill them. And the truth couldn't be further from, that could be, that's the furthest thing from the truth is what I mean. Is for them to think of this way, to think of life this way, is absolutely insane. It's the other way around. First, what I always give advice to people that want to find their true love, if they're ready for this wisdom, because most people are not. Most people, a good majority that are not awake, are still in that state of lack and limitation and wanting everything their God hold to be filled from the outside in. In other words, you go find somebody that you can live off of energetically and suck the life out of, and you want them to make you happy, and you want them to make you love you, and you want them to love you, and you want all these things from them. So I got a very important question for you. How much do you love yourself? How much do any of you guys love yourselves? Do you have any idea of how much you love yourselves? If the answer is I don't really love myself, you got some homework to do. Because, oh my God, your God hole is super empty. And what we've been talking about is literally filling up the God hole, right? We've been talking about you creating a reality for you where you truly love yourself. And that's where we start. So if you're feeling empty, if you're feeling hollow, if you don't have enough money, there's all kinds of different variations of the same thing that I'm talking about. Yes, of course we have to plant the seeds on the outside. We have to do the searches for the jobs, and we have to do the searches for the relationship, or put ourselves out there at least. I'm not saying not to do that, but at the same time, you've got to work on yourself. This is what I always tell my clients when they come and consult with me in private. I always tell them, this universe is very holographic. What that means is that it's like a hologram. And whatever you have carrying and you're carrying on the outside of yourself is literally out picturing itself on the inside of yourself. So whatever you carry inside of yourself is going to outpicture for you in your physical world. So if you're in lack and limitation, guess what? That's what you're going to experience. You're going to have all kinds of experiences of lack and limitation in your outer world. That happens because the universe wants you to be in balance. It doesn't happen because God wants to torture you and you don't deserve to get these things or have this experience. It truly is because the reflection of the universe is, hey, you know what? You need to balance this a little bit. You need to balance this aspect of your life. And the place that you need to start is not on the outside. The place that you need to start contemplating in about creating this other new reality for yourself is on the inside. Where is your depletion? Where's your lack? Where's your limitation? So I have an exercise for you guys to do. This is not an easy exercise, but I'd like you to think about doing this. And especially if you're wanting to achieve or wanting something in your life, okay? Step number 1, to literally grab a notepad and start writing where your life is lacking. Where do you feel like you want to improve it? And there's 5 areas, right? Health is number 1 for me. If I don't have my health, I don't have anything. If my health is gone, I'm not going to be here. So health is number 1 for me, but you could put yours in whatever position you want to put it in, okay? So health, at least a financial stable life, okay? That would be number 2. Number 3 would be relationship. Some people put relationships first. I don't, okay? So first, I want to have my health. Then I want to be pretty stable financially so I don't have to depend on the other person. Number 3 is relationship. Number 4 is my mental state. Number 5 is my spiritual state, okay? Although spiritual is kind of like the very first thing we need to look at. But I'm just giving you the order, okay? I want you to write down those 5 different ones. So maybe you want to start with spiritual, your spiritual state, and where you're at. If you're in lack, you know, not feeling good enough, whatever it may be, your emotional state, what your emotions are about yourself, and really evaluate that. Number 3 is once you do that evaluation, then you look at your physical state, then you could look at your financial state and maybe put your relationships last. And I want you to really take a look at improving these areas. But the only way you can improve upon them, I believe you guys will all agree with me, is if you are willing, really willing to explore if there is a place of great lack in you and there's a place where you don't feel fulfilled. Those are the key things that I'd like you to write down on your list. So the unfulfilled areas of my life is what you could write it as. Okay, because first you have to explore that and find it. And then what I want you to do is the other side of this is the areas that you would like to experience fulfillment in. Now, I'm using my words very carefully here. I'm not saying the areas that you have lack and you want to not create lack, okay? That's miscreating. I want you to look at this as a place where you could actually account for the things that you want to experience in your life and write those down. I don't care if it's a trip to Europe with a love, you know, a love that you want to be with. There's a myriad of different things, okay? But I want you guys to kind of think about that. And think about the experiences you would like to experience, okay? I also want you to look at this other thing. How emotionally depleted are you? How empty do you feel? And especially if you're really lonely and you're really looking for that partner outside of yourself, how badly do you want it? If you're desperate, I'm going to let you know something. Any person that's desperate, and I also do a lot of coaching in this area with a lot of my clients that come seek me out for privates. If you are depleted, you are going to find that on the outside. In other words, you're going to find somebody in your life that's going to be your so-called partner. And guess what? They're going to deplete you. Because that's what you're attracting, you see. Because you're in that state of, I'm depleted, so I want somebody to fill my God hole. So you'll get that reflected back to you. That's why I want you guys to be really honest with yourselves and go, okay, this is a place of lack and limitation in me where I do feel depleted. And I gotta say this, when it comes to relationships, the key foundational place that I perceive where I change my paradigm, I'm just sharing this with you guys, is the place where I've actually, instead of going and seeking this partnership outside of myself with this new relationship, what I literally have done is sunk into myself and actually been okay with being by myself and alone. The moment that you shift, hi, Mr. Kitty, the moment that you shift from being alone and being okay with it is the moment that you'll actually manifest the person that you've been wanting to manifest. You're so funny. God damn. What? All right. So that is very interesting, isn't it? That when you are willing to sink into yourself, right? When you're willing to be and you're happy by yourself, if you're starting to like and enjoy and love your own company, this is a very good sign. This means that you're on the path to recovery from having an empty God hole and having to have other people fulfill it for you, because that doesn't exist. You see, the truth is that even though you may be in a great relationship, or you may not be, or you may want that great relationship, that other person is never going to fill you. That is a misperception of reality. They may be able to share with you and share their love and share their good vibes with you, but the truth is that they will never be able to fill you. You, on the other hand, if you show up in a relationship and you are fulfilled, in other words, filled from the inside out, I can pretty much guarantee you that you're not going to be seeking for the other person to make you happy, because you already are. You see, our true and divine nature is to be content, is to be in a state of happiness and joy. Joy is a byproduct of being in a state of contentment inside of yourself and fulfillment. So that's the very first step that I want to take with you guys and kind of guide you through this process of understanding that the keys to manifesting a great relationship is to have one great relationship with yourself first and foremost. I always tell my partner, my beloved, I always tell them my relationship with my God self and me is number one. In other words, my relationship towards myself is first. You're secondary to that relationship. And the same thing should go for you. To make yourself the primary person that you're in a relationship with, and your God self, and then make me the second person That's if you're going to be in a committed monogamous relationship, okay? But it's very important, because understand this, that if I am first, and I am with myself first, and happy with myself or content, and I'm in a state of, what do I want to call this? So I'm in a state of great contentment, because my life is in a good homeostatic place. Homeostasis, not homeostatic, and not static, definitely, but in a homeostatic place of contentment. That inner contentment is one that I've created on my own, because I connected to my God self. I connected to my, what I call my infinite self, and what I actually call my higher self. And I actually see the divine partner within me, not separate from me and outside of myself. I first have to make that connection, okay, with my divine partner that lives within me, that lives within my spirit, my soul. Because I have a secret to share with all of you. All of you that think that you are half are so like off the mark. You're not half broken. You're not a half that's going to meet its other half and make a whole. That is bogus. That's BS that you've been sold by mainstream media. You're a whole being. And not only that, but within you, you have a female aspect and a male aspect. You have the dance of the heavens above your head and the dance of this earth below your feet, literally. And you have these two energies that are male and female, that at your heart, literally at the center of your heart, if you have these two energies joined together and meet, you will actually have a divine partner experience within yourself. Literally, you will literally experience yourself not being alone, and having your inner divine partner that you've been seeking on the outside right there in the middle of your heart. Nowhere else, not outside of yourself, not in another person, but truly within you. And until you choose to explore this and discover it, you're going to continue to seek and be empty and lonely and searching for that perfect partner. I love it when people come to me when I do privates and they go, "Is that the one?" And I'm like, ay, ay, ay. You know, the one doesn't exist outside of yourself, I tell them. And they're like, what? Because we've been sold this sack of, of excrement, by Disney and all these different movies from Hollywood and all the songs and all the poison they sell us, that, oh, your prince and your knight in shining armor's out there somewhere, Cinderella. And that's a bunch of hooey. It's absolutely bogus and not the truth at all. And it actually gets you to externalize looking for that person. And it actually, two things happen. Is you get distracted looking for this perfect person outside of yourself. Well, I'm about to disappoint a lot of people. And those that are mature enough and old enough will realize she's right. It doesn't exist outside of me. I am a complete whole being that has both aspects within me. And I would love to explore this within me. So that really is going to be your homework, is to actually test this out and explore it. Because I guarantee you that you have this within you. And many sacred Buddhist texts speak about this. Tantric texts speak about this. The Hindus speak about it. Not really in Western civilization do we have this understanding. And Western civilization is pretty sick. In my humble opinion, they've really ruined the divine feminine. They've taken her to the trash. And because of jealousy, because of whatever the reasons may be, and dragged the divine feminine through the mud and made the predominant aspect on planet Earth the male. It's kind of interesting. But the truth is, that these people that have done this are very out of balance with themselves. Like we started this conversation at the beginning, right? So all I'm sharing with all of you is that we need to come into balance with ourselves. And the only way to come into balance with ourselves is to come within ourselves, to start entering and navigating yourself into yourself. And stop looking for those things that you want to fulfill on the outside. Start looking for them on the inside. Inside of you is where you're going to find them. I guarantee you that when you do this work, and there may be some layers that are painful, and that's why people like me are here to coach you and help you along through those layers so you can get to the core of you and start really experiencing your own inner joy, your own divinity, your own happiness within yourself. See, something very interesting happens. When you actually find yourself within yourself, your own divinity, and you start resonating with that divinity, and you start connecting with your divine, for you women and men, and there's all kinds of mixes on this planet. There's same-sex relationships, there's all kinds of things. But there is a masculine and feminine within that as well. Even though they may not choose to have a relationship that's heterosexual, they still are seeking that male aspect of themselves, outside of themselves, or female. So what I have to say about this is that if you're willing to navigate yourself, or have somebody like me navigate you to your center, to start integrating and start connecting for the first time in your life probably to that divine, the one that you've been searching for inside of yourself, I can pretty much guarantee you that if you're willing to do this kind of work and you go really deep into it and you actually connect with it and you have that experience that I've had where the two are dancing together, where the two meet, and literally you find your divine partner within yourself, the one, I can pretty much guarantee you that when you do that, it's going to be a pretty amazing ride. And you're going to find yourself in a place that is going to be very fulfilling. And it's a different kind of fulfillment. It's not what you have thought you experience on the outside. And the best part about this, self-fulfillment and having your partnership, your divine partnership with your divine partner within yourself, okay, whether it's male or female, and having that union, is you'll find that instead of looking for that person on the outside of yourself, you'll be content on the inside, and you won't need to look for that person anymore. You'll be in a state of pretty much bliss within yourself, happy with your own company. I know this sounds really crazy. For some of you guys, this must be a very new concept, but listen to this because this is very important. That if you integrate the divine masculine, divine feminine within yourself, you will actually literally, when you're finally self-fulfilled in this aspect, and I'll use the other half hour for talking about manifesting things, money, other things in your life. But for this half hour, I wanted to really go into relationships. So let's talk about fulfilling relationships, okay, that are within ourselves. You're in a state of fulfillment. You're quite happy with yourself, okay? And what you're going to find is that, like I said, this universe is very holographic, right? I said that several times. So all of a sudden, here you are. I kind of will share with you guys what happened to me. And this was back in 2012, beginning of December, actually, of 2000, maybe 11. I'm not sure if it was even 2012. It had to be, let's see. It was 2012. That I had finally come to this place where I accepted the fact that I was going to be alone for the rest of my life. And that I was quite content with being alone. Okay? I wasn't like, at first I was really sad about it and I was really lonely and I got into those feelings deeply and I just felt it. I just sat in that place of, okay, I'm going to be all alone. And it's okay for me to be all alone. Very interestingly, At the same time, I was communicating with several people that I had met through a website called in5d.net. And I met two men there that I was talking to. And one, I thought that it was interesting. I thought that something was going to come of it, but nothing ever came, and lost contact with this person, whatever. But right after I had that reckoning and that realization that my divine partner lives inside of me and I don't have to go looking for it anywhere, and I was very relaxed about it, in that instant, literally in that instant, something started to happen. The ground, like, new seeds were starting to sprout without me even realizing it. And pretty soon I found myself speaking with who was my partner today. And having these long conversations on the phone. And really, I didn't have any expectations about this person. And this person didn't have them from me. And we really were starting a friendship with no expectations. So that's the other thing that I tell people. If you want to create anything, your job is the what. The universe's job is the how and the when. And that's a very hard thing for the ego to do, because the ego wants to control everything. But your only job is the what. And then letting it go and allowing the universe to bring it to you. And that's pretty much exactly what happened to me in this situation, is that I just allowed the universe to bring it to me because I wasn't interested anymore in having that relationship and having it fulfilled from the outside in, because I already had it from the inside out. Does that make sense? So the moment that I got to that place where I had the full self-fulfillment, the person appeared in my life, because that's how the universe is. So that's one piece that I want to give to you guys tonight about relationships and how to manifest the relationship with yourself first and get to know yourself first. And then that person will appear. You won't even have to look for them. It just magically happens that way. This universe is very magical in that way. So let's talk about, I'm going to shift now, because this show, probably I'm only going to have time to touch two subjects. One, it was the relationships. Now we're going to talk about money, abundance, financial resources. Let's talk about this now, okay? Because that's another foundational piece for us to have a pretty stable life and feel safe and not feel threatened and feel comfortable. So that's one of the things that I want to start with. So let's say that, and we got to take baby steps, okay? Some people are amazing. Some people have the ability to manifest. It's kind of interesting though, right? A lot of people that have manifested like 100 million winning the lottery, it took them, 2 years, and the lottery was all gone. All the money was gone. All the money was spent. Interesting how that is. A lot of like sports people that are in the sports, like, NFL, those people is very interesting, or basketball. They make millions while they're doing their famous thing, and then when they're done, they spent it all, and they don't have a penny of it. Why is that? Have you ever thought about that? Why you're in lack and limitation, and why you can't hold on to your money? Can I tell you something? You may not like what I'm going to say, but it's the truth. The only reason why you don't have that money is because you don't think you deserve it. On some deep unconscious level, some part of you doesn't feel like you're worthy of it. That is really, truly why this is going on for you. And why you're in a lack and limitation mode is because you don't think you deserve it. You don't think you deserve to live a comfortable, nice life. Or for some people to have extraordinary wealth. For me, that doesn't matter. I don't care about that. I like a simple life, but that's my choice. Where I live in a small house and I have all my needs met, and that's all I need. I don't need more than that. But other people have different needs, okay? So the first step to manifesting and creating a financial abundance in your life is first, again, we're going to do the same exercise, right? Where is the lack and limitation in my life? Where am I practicing lack and limitation? What are the inner voices, which I call the judging voices, right? The self-judgment that's in my head that says that I don't deserve to have this or to have that. What are those voices saying? You really have to tune into those and start writing your list down of the places where you don't feel worthy or that you deserve to have money or to have a decent lifestyle. So I want you guys to do the same thing with this exercise. Write all the places where you feel like you have lack, limitation, you don't deserve to have things, whatever it may be. Okay? And I want you to put that list together. And in this exercise, we're going to do something a little different that actually Ascended Master Saint Germain channeled through me and taught me. And he taught me very well. Which is as follows. So put your list of all your lack and limitation of why you don't believe you should have this or why you're bargaining to have that. And I am going to quote someone because I love to read this guy's info. I actually wrote it on a document that I post from time to time. And I will give you the name of the author, okay? Because I think it's important for you guys to have this information. So the name of the author is William Whitecloud, and it's The Magician's Way is the book that he wrote, okay? And I'm going to give you the secrets to manifesting, okay? So these are his 7 secrets, but I go along with what he says, and I totally agree with him. And he's put this very succinctly. The first secret, your thoughts and feelings are not real. Again, I'll repeat that. Your thoughts and feelings are not real. Your thoughts and feelings are an expression of your underlying assumptions. You know what? When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, don't you? So I'm kind of breaking it down for you guys. So your thoughts and feelings are an expression of your underlying assumptions in any moment, not reflections of actual reality or what is truly possible. So you really got to look, like I said, to break it down. You need to write down your underlying assumptions, your past experiences of failure, your unhappy moments of why you're in lack and limitation. What brought you to this place? What thoughts brought you here? I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you a secret. Your thoughts are what brought you here. And that's why this person said your thoughts and feelings aren't real. Is because you're basing your present moment in your past. And you're living in the past and creating this present moment with your past experiences. Yuck. So do you want to get out of that cycle? Great. Second secret. Your focus creates your reality. This is very important. So if you're focusing on the past and all your horrible past experiences that you were lack and limitation, that's what you're going to create in your reality, right? But if you start focusing in your present reality about what you're going to create, and here's my little secret. He doesn't say this, but I do. The little secret I want to share with you is you need to look at the situation that you want to create, at the financial resources that you want to bring into your life as if it already happened. I'm going to repeat that again. You have to imagine that this situation is already taken care of and it already happened. It's in your past. You have to look at it, look upon it as if it was already, this is already a past event that already occurred. Why? Because you're going to start training your neural net that is the reality. And pretty soon you're going to find that in your future moments, near future moments, you're going to create that reality. Why? Because you're basing it on your past, that you already created this abundance that you're wanting to create. But instead of wanting to create, that's my other key. If you want to create something, you're always going to be running after it and chasing it. Get it? So if you already put it in the future, I want this, I want that. Want is going to bring more want. It's going to throw it all the way in the future and you're going to be chasing it for the rest of your life. If you state, I already have this, I am already fulfilled by this, I am already experiencing this, I have already experienced this, Now, you're going to put it in your past, and that's going to bring it to your present moment. I know everything's backwards here, but I'm giving you a golden nugget on how to manifest and how to create reality. Okay? So it's very important that you see it as it's already happened. This already took place in your life. Literally, it already did. It just hasn't outpictured itself yet. But you have to see it as it's already happened. Okay? Second secret. Your focus creates your reality. Your experiences in life is determined by what you put your attention on. So if you're putting your attention on, like I just said, something that you've already created this experience, and you've already imagined it, and you have it in your field, you literally will experience it. If you focus on an end result, you inevitably attract what you want. If you focus too much on what you have. Okay, so I'm going to break it down. This is very important. If you focus on your end results, you inevitably attract what you want, which is what I just said, right? If you've already experienced it, you've already had your imagination create this outcome for you, and you've already experienced the wealth or whatever you're looking to manifest, it already happened, it will outpicture itself. It will manifest itself. Okay? If you focus too much on what you have to do, here's where you bargain with the universe and God. Oh, please, God, if I do this, you'll give me this back. Stop that. That's a waste of time. So if you focus too much on what you have to do in order to get what you want, got it? I'll read that again. If you focus too much on what you have to do in order to get what you want, you will end up attracting your doubts, fears, and beliefs. In other words, of course, if you're focusing on what you want, what does that do? It puts it in the future. It makes you chase into the future for this thing that is so elusive because you can't catch up with it. Got it? So, like he said it very well, you end up attracting your doubts, fears, and beliefs. Right? Because you haven't programmed your brain to create the future that you already experienced. And now you're going to get to experience it again. Third secret. Everyone has a heart. Having a heart means that you do have dreams. Right? I was talking about imaginations, dreams. Does that make sense? That there are things you love. Things that are deeply important to you. An inherent part of the human journey is that at some point you end up putting more energy into protecting your heart other than living your dreams. This takes will. So in other words, are you going to continue to protect your heart and go, because mom and dad told me that's not possible, because my teachers told me it's not possible, because the world tells me it's not possible, that I'm not going to be able to do this? So I'm going to protect my little heart and not have my dream come true. Instead of going, you know what? I already have my dream. I already saw it. So put yourself what I would call in a precognitive state, where you actually, precog means you're perceiving the future before it happens. Okay? That's a precognitive state, is perceiving the future before it happens. And you, with your imagination, can do that. You can perceive the future that's coming towards you. But you have to have your heart open to receive it. If you don't have your heart open to receive it, you're never going to get it. Okay, fourth secret. There is never anything to do, but always actions to take. Didn't I say that before? You got to plant the seeds, right? So you do have to plant your seeds, which means if you want a better job, or you want to get a raise, or you want to get, if you're like somebody like me, independent contractor, and you want more clients to come to you, okay? So you need to take action towards those things. Like I'm building a super duper amazing website where I can teach workshops and co-teach with other people, and oh my God, it's going to be amazing, okay? Those are the seeds I'm planting. Those are the actions that I'm taking in order to build a platform for the people that are interested in this kind of work and coming to these classes, like the manifestation classes I'll be teaching. Okay, action is about taking direct steps on the obvious, okay? If you build it, they'll come, right? Like I'm building my website so all of you guys can come. Towards creating what you want. Towards creating what you desire, okay? But I want you to see it as that outcome already happened. That is key. I can't say that more. Doing is about fulfilling certain conditions. Here's where you get in trouble. We all get in trouble. Doing is about fulfilling certain conditions you believe are necessary before you can get what you want. This is where we bargain with God. Oh God, if I do this, will you please, let me win the lottery? If I do that, everybody does that. That's what this means. Doing is about fulfilling certain conditions, that you're going to fulfill certain conditions that you believe are necessary in order to receive what you want. To receive what's already yours. This is already yours. This universe is so abundant that by mandate, it's already yours. I want you guys to get that. That it's not something that you actually have to plead for. It's something that is actually part of who you are. Fifth secret. Structure has integrity. Something's structure dictates its behavior. This is very important. Your thoughts create your actions. Okay? That's what this means. Something's structure dictates its behavior. And its behavior dictates its experience. Now, I'm going to read a really beautiful thing that I actually send on my emails to everybody. This is from the Buddha. Watch your thoughts. They become your words. Watch your words. They become your actions. Watch your actions. They become your habits. Watch your habits. They become your character. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny. Pretty powerful, huh? So that goes right in hand with what we just read. Something structure dictates its behavior, and its behavior dictates its experience. So, learn that. In creative terms, what your attention is focused on forms the underlying structure of your consciousness. In other words, your imagination, okay, your focus on your imagination that this event already happened, that you already have so much money that came to you in your bank account, okay, is basically has to be embedded in your consciousness, okay, as that already happened. The motivations behind what you do in life reveal your true focus. So if your motivations come out of fear, of lack and limitation, it is going to bring you back lack and limitation. But if you start to trust in the universe and you start to trust in your process and in the process of the universe and let it unfold on its own, then guess what? You'll be focused on your outcome, which is to create abundance, not lack and limitation, right? At every step, you really got to be mindful and pay attention to this, but extremely mindful. Sixth secret. You get your energy from a higher source. We all do, by the way. As a human being, you have the tendency to develop fixed concepts about what it is in your highest good and where it is supposed to come from. That's why I always tell people it's none of your business the how or the when. Okay? This is exactly what this is saying. None of your business the how it's going to happen and when. Your business is asking the what and knowing that it's already yours. Okay? I'm going to put it very succinctly. So, your highest good and where it's supposed to come from. The key to magic, to manifesting magical things in your life, is developing the ability to let go of your fixed concepts and open up to the true source of universal energy, because universal energy is unlimited. There is no limit to it. All right. Seventh secret. We're almost there. Ultimately, your highest source of energy is your own heart. This couldn't be furthest from the truth. Okay? It's like this is bullseye, guys. Ultimately, your highest source of energy is your own heart. I'll tell you 50 ways from Sunday why. Your heart, if it stops beating, if that God flame, there's literally a God flame in your heart, gets put out, in other words, it just disappears and goes away, you're not going to be here anymore. So this hits it for me at the bullseye in so many different ways. So at the core, at the heart of you, literally, okay, is your source of energy that's going to create this outcome. So really think about that. Yet, the paradox is that you are conditioned to protect your heart. Interesting, isn't it? A behavior motivated by fear. So, yet the paradox is that you are conditioned to protect your heart, a behavior motivated by fear. So whatever is motivating you to create whatever you're looking to create, if it's coming out of a place of fear, guess what you're going to get reflected back to you by the universe? You're going to get back more fear. You're going to get to create that reality of lack and limitation instead of having abundance in your life, okay? Your fears are communicated to you by your thoughts and feelings, okay? Your fears, again, are communicated to you by your thoughts and feelings. There can be no sustainable change in your experience unless you have the will to choose following your heart over resolving your thoughts and feelings. That's really deep. I'm going to read that again. There can be no sustainable change in your life experience unless you have the will to choose following your heart over resolving your thoughts and feelings. And remember, your thoughts and feelings are not real. Your thoughts and feelings, all they are is previous experiences that you've had of lack and limitation. Your heart, though, on the contrary, your heart is always full. And it always has more than enough resources and energies if you focus on your heart and your heart's desire to manifest the outcome that you've been desiring. This great book, I would so recommend for all you guys to read, okay? And to use it, absorb it, and practice it. And it's very, very important because this is another book I am going to write a book about. It's not going to be that long of a book, but I'm going to have my partner and I write it, and it's going to be a PDF document that I'll have on my website. I will have it in the probably, like, there's going to be a couple of sections. There's going to be a free section where I'm going to have all kinds of information that's free. And then there's going to be a paid side where you can actually download PDF forms, PowerPoint presentations, that sort of thing. That's going to be a minimal membership. And then there's going to be other memberships where I'll be doing these workshops on an ongoing basis. And if you're interested in actually signing up and winning a 5-minute free reading, I am offering those. For the time being, I would suggest that you guys go to the following page. I will post it here, I guess, but since this goes all over the place, I don't have time to do that. So I'm gonna tell you guys where you need to go. So you need to go to Sonic Nova, okay, is my website, basically. Let me see. Is this the page that has it? No, it's the other page. All right. Oh boy. Oh, I'm in the wrong page. Sorry, guys. That's why I couldn't find it. So the page that you need to go to so that I can capture your email and your Skype if you want to win a 5-minute free reading. I'm offering 4 5-minute free readings to people that want to try me out and that are new maybe to the services that I offer. This is not a gimmick, and I'm going to give away one every week. I'm going to give 4 readings away. 4 5-minute readings. That's 20 minutes. So the capture page, or the page that you can go to sign up on our email list, is called sonicnova.net/sonic -nova. Again, http or www.sonicnova, one word, sonicnova.net/sonic, -nova. And you can enter there to win a 5-minute reading. So if you don't do it that way, then I won't be able to give away the reading. So that pretty much covers about us creating our abundance and creating lack and limitation, and how to go about changing your paradigm, okay, from miscreating, and that is my coined word, to co-creating with the universe. So the keys that I'm going to go through, because we have about 6 minutes or 5 minutes left, are very important. The first thing is to follow your heart. Let go of your fears, doubts, limitations, okay? See it as it already happened. I'm going to recap all this. See the event as it already happened that you want to create, and that you already experienced it, and you want to do this over and over and over till it outpictures itself in front of you, okay? Get rid of the people in your life that are doubters, that are putting you down, that are saying you're just, looking for, I don't know, what do they say? You're chasing dreams. Those are people that are not serving you and that are not serving your highest good. Let's see, the other point that I want to make in creating this, so you want to co-create with the universe. Remember these words. Your job is the what you want to create, what you want to experience, okay? Then fully experience it in your imagination and look upon it as it already happened. And then your business, like I said, is just the what, and the when and the how is the universe's business. The less you have barriers in front of you that you put upon yourself in your thought process, the sooner you will manifest this. The more fear you have and the more underlying, like it said here, like more fears and your feelings and your past that you're going to superimpose in the present moment, the more you're going to get to experience that. So what I tell people is just surrender into what you just experienced, into that incredible experience you just had that you imagined it already happened, and have your precog recollection of what you're creating in the now that will come to you and unfold itself when the universe, okay, or when your God self does the how and the when. The other thing that's most important here that I tell most people is to basically understand that you need to operate and have the operator of your life to operate this ship, your vessel, your body, is to be your God self. And to put your ego in the back seat and ask the ego to learn from the navigator, the God self. That's the being that actually is going to make this manifest for you, all the things that you're desiring. So that was a good recap. Now I've put it here so that people can re-listen to this over and over again. And just to remember this, when you have your God self navigating the ship, you don't step in, what. When you have the ego personality navigating the ship, then you get to step deep in the doo-doo pile. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a fantastic evening. This was another great show. Hope you guys all enjoy it. And remember, if you want to create this reality, you must allow to let go, see it has already happened, and you'll have your day. Have a great day, everybody.
This radio show is a live, interactive internet radio show where we explore our multidimensional, true and divine nature. Here is where we enlighten and brighten your lives with all sorts of amazing, inspirational, and eye-opening information. From the occult to the extraordinary. Come, join us now.